Hi guys, my name is Bricia Dosal, and today's video is about me quitting weed because this has been very hard for me. I've been wanting this for a long time, so I'm super proud of myself. And I think it's funny because this channel initially started from me smoking, and it's nice to say goodbye to it because maybe it will attract people who align with me with my life right now. For those of you guys who do not know me, I'm going to give you some background. I've been smoking for about 4 to 5 years, probably more. And yeah, it's kind of embarrassing to say that, but it's been a while. And I used to smoke like breakfast, lunch, dinner. And it was very hard for me to stop. Right now, I'm on day 16. So this is the longest I've gone without weed. And I wanted to share how my journey's been, what I've been experiencing, and what made me make this decision. And I'm not taking a tolerance break. This is me being done for good. So I noticed when I was smoking, I usually would be on my phone, have my music blasting, smoking. To me, that was fun. And then I started really paying attention to like, what am I thinking when I'm high? And I noticed that every time I would smoke, I was getting sad. Like, I feel like it was making me depressed. It was making me think about the past, and it would make me just sad. And then I noticed when I wasn't smoking and when I was sober throughout the day, like, the times that I wasn't smoking, I felt like I didn't have those thoughts when I was sober. The only time I had negative thoughts is when I was smoking. It's like my mind was playing tricks on me, putting things in my head that aren't my thoughts. One day, when I was smoking, I put my song away and I just really started paying attention to what am I thinking when I'm smoking. It was all just negative things. I felt like I was sedating myself. I felt like I wasn't present, and that's something that's very big to me. And now that I stopped smoking, it kind of sucks because I feel like I wasted a lot of time in the past, like not being present. You know, when you're smoking, especially me, like I'm in my own little world. It's very hard to talk to me when I'm high. I just keep to myself, and I feel like I missed out on a lot of relationships and things from just isolating myself and just really sedating myself. I just felt like I was on autopilot, like I was alive, but I wasn't really living. I wasn't really aware of what was going on. Weed makes you comfortable, and I feel like that's what I was starting to realize, is that I'm comfortable. You know, I have this routine. I come home, I smoke, do it again the next day, and so on. And I just feel like if you want to expand or do something more in life, your mind will never get the chance to really think about that because you're comfortable. And I started realizing that. And like right now in my life, comfort is the biggest enemy to someone who's hungry. I'm very hungry right now in life. I don't want comfort. I want momentum. I don't want a relationship. I want legacy. I really feel like I was just numbing myself, and I felt really slow. I just felt like very slow, and I feel like I'm an intelligent girl, and I just felt like I was just like slowing myself down even mentally, and I didn't like how that felt. I was just like, not only that, I feel like to be a visionary, it is a gift. And I noticed that when I was writing my script and I would get like writer's block, when I would go out and smoke, I couldn't go back and write anymore. Because in my head, like when I'm writing a script, I already have it all in my head, like the editing in my head, if that makes sense, beginning from end. Maybe I don't have dialogue, but I have the sense of what it is I'm trying to portray. And I noticed when I was smoking, I didn't, it was like fogging up my head. I couldn't even complete the freaking thought. And I just felt so slow, and I would get mad because I'm just like, oh, I'm trying to finish the script. And I just felt like my best ideas, it didn't come at all from smoking. Literally nothing came from that. My best ideas of writing came when I was sober. I would literally have to wait 3 hours to go back and write. And honestly, it kind of was making me worried because I was just like, if anything's going to stop me from making this film, it was, in a sad way, it was smoking, because I felt like I started to realize I was very dependent on it. Even if I didn't want to smoke, it's like I just kept going to the dispensary. I kept doing it, and I just felt like it was taking over me. For me, like since I'm stepping into this new era, this new career of mine of being a filmmaker and directing, when you're directing, you're in charge of money, you're in charge of budget, you're in charge of people, the tone, and executing and finishing. And if I'm being quite honest, and I'm not judging anyone who smokes, but if I had a boss and he was smoking all the time, I would be a little worried. I would be a little worried to be like, is he present? Is he doing the best he could do for the company? Because he's always smoking. Are we in good hands? Like, and I just felt like that's how I see myself now. Like when you're directing, you're the captain of the ship. And I am going to keep making movies, and you do need to have a certain state of mind or be a certain type of person to execute and finish it. And people are coming to you a lot for questions, and it's like, I can't be high. I can't be slow. I need to think quick. Again, going back to being present. I need to be present. I need to have clarity. And I just feel like, compared to if I had another boss who he didn't smoke at all, and I would think like, okay, he's sharp. This is his full potential. The business may be in good hands. If I were to pick one boss over the other, I would pick someone who, yeah, doesn't smoke. And I know there's some people who are like, oh, well, I can smoke and get things done. And it's like, I was like that too. But it's like, I think it depends on what it is you want in life. And I know that, again, I'm not judging anyone who smokes. I feel like we're all on different journeys and timings in our life. And in my timing, in my journey in life right now, it can't come with me. It doesn't align with who I am now. And if I really am serious about that, I need to eliminate things that I feel like are slowing me down. And weed was a big factor of that. It was the main one. It was going to slow me down. And I know if I want to win in this life or win in my goals, that I really need to cut that out. So that was the beginning stages of when I was starting to realize, like, this is not good for me. I feel like when I was in relationships, I was smoking a lot. And I would always make excuses. Like sometimes I'll do some weird shit and I'm just like, then I'll smoke and I'll be like, oh, maybe it's not that big of a deal. And it is. And now that I'm sober, I'm just like, I see everything. I see everything clear. And there's things that I used to like that I don't like anymore. And like I said, I've let go of some people that I just, because I'm seeing them clear as day now. And I also want to go into, since I stopped smoking, I been crying so much. So I've heard people say that when you smoke, you're like suppressing your feelings. And I used to disagree with that. But now that I've stopped smoking, I totally agree with that. There's so much that has come to the surface. I realize I left so many doors open that I haven't closed. And this past week, I feel like I've been closing each door. I realized that I was not sad at all about the past relationships that I was in. It didn't even bother me one bit. Like now that I'm sober, I just kind of laugh at it because I'm just like, I don't know. I just look at it totally different now. And I cried for 3 days straight like a baby. And that was because I was holding so much in, and I realized it had nothing to do with past relationships. It had to do with my mom. Like, for those of you guys who don't know, like I lost my mom like 5 years ago. And I never faced it. Like every time I thought about her passing, I trained my mind to think of something else. And I went to go smoke. And when I stopped smoking, I cried for like 3 days straight over my mom. And after I was done crying, like I felt so much lighter. I felt like I had so much anger because of what happened. And I just feel like I allowed myself to like release. I felt tremendously so much lighter after I did that. And I was like, wow, I'm like, I can't believe I was holding all of that in. So I still haven't gone to sleep pretty early. I always go to sleep. The past 2 weeks, I've been going to bed at 5 a.m. I cannot sleep. I've had the strangest dreams ever. Like really strange. I've been dreaming a lot. Like I think it's called like REM dreaming. When I do sleep, I have these crazy fucking dreams. And anyone who stopped smoking, can you let me know when will my sleeping schedule get back to normal? I did get a lot of like night sweats. It's your body like withdrawing. And I think that when I was starting to see my body going through all that, not sleeping, I really haven't been eating the same. I feel like I used to eat like a grown ass man. Now I eat like a lady. I didn't realize how my body was so dependent on weed in order to make me eat. And that's really sad, but it's true. So, yeah, so I'll definitely be up till 5 in the morning. And then, especially today, I'm trying to think what else. Like, I even asked my church to pray for me to help me stop smoking because I did need extra help and I couldn't stop on my own. I know it's sad, but I couldn't. And so I'm sure they'll be happy to find out that I stopped smoking. But this is something that I've been really wanting for myself. And I used to pray that I hope that I wake up one morning and that my spirit no longer desires it. And I know it sounds weird. I wasn't going to talk about this part, but I am. I know it sounds weird, but at some point I feel like it was like a spiritual warfare against me. Obviously, I believe in God. If you believe in God, there's a devil. And I felt like when I was smoking, I kid you not, I'm not even joking, on my mom and everything, I would see shadows in the corner of my eyes when I was smoking. And it was weed. I know people are going to be like, were you smoking weed? It was weed. And I just felt like there was this weird presence with me when I was smoking. Like if if there is a bad in this world, if it wants to keep me in the loop and keep me sedated and keep me stuck, that would be the devil. Because obviously the devil doesn't come in like ways where it's obvious. Like it comes in ways where it seems comfortable. Like, you go out for a drink, you're lusting, hooking up with girls, you're smoking, like all that seems fun, but it's like that's how the devil would mask it so you could feel comfortable. And I started realizing when I started telling you earlier, like how I started paying attention to my thoughts when I was smoking, I just felt like my mind was tricking me. And I'm like, these are not my thoughts. And I just felt like there was like, just like this presence. And I would always pray for me not to smoke. And I just felt like I was going back and forth, back and forth. And eventually the light, God, won over me. I know it sounds silly, but I really firmly believe that if there's a devil, he knew like where I'm going and what's for me, what's in store for me, and he doesn't want that obviously. So he wants to keep me comfortable and sitting there smoking away every day and keeping me in the loop. I feel like I fucking broke the matrix or something and I stepped out and I started seeing it for what it is. And I'm like, this is not good for me. This doesn't serve me in any way, doesn't do shit for me but make me sad. I really felt like it was making me depressed. And I was just abusing it, honestly. And I kind of am curious if anyone else who stopped smoking, did you guys ever, has anyone ever experienced that? Because I just felt like it was trying to keep me in a loop, keep me stuck, again, keep me sedated. I'm also not quitting because I feel like weed is evil. I'm quitting because I feel like I'm in building season right now. Like I'm trying to build my empire. I have big goals and I'm very serious about that. And before I used to always say I'm chasing my dreams and now I'm actually living and doing something about my dreams and I'm trying to build an empire and I'm very serious about that. So I feel like I really needed to eliminate that. Get to the real reason what made me stop smoking, and I think that it's so funny because I know some people may not believe in God and that's fine. I do. But what made me really stop smoking, I feel like it's so funny because it's funny because you know how they say like God has a sense of humor? Well, I do definitely believe that because I've been praying about this and I think life was like, all right, we're going to do something and this is what's going to make her stop. So, okay, what made me stop is vanity. And I know it sounds silly, but if you're a girl, listen up. First of all, I am a woman now and I want to age like wine. I don't want to age like milk. I feel like I've been blessed with beauty and I don't want to take that away. And smoking is the biggest indicator to aging you. And okay, one time I was smoking in the car and I put the rear view mirror down and I was looking at myself and I was just like, I didn't like what I saw. And it was so weird because when I looked at myself again the next day, I didn't see what I saw that day. That day I just saw like something fucking like I don't know, like I was just like, what the fuck? Like I just felt like my skin looked so dehydrated. It even felt so dehydrated. And if you're a smoker watching this, go drink water, hydrate your skin, moisturize your skin, take care of your skin, and please, like literally, if you don't believe me, go look at other. Again, I'm not shaming you, smokers. I know some of you guys are probably hitting the blunt right now, but go look at people's skin, the ones who are smokers, and see like their skin looks very dehydrated. It was looking dull, no radiance, and yeah, it was just looking very fucking crazy. And there was, okay, this is what really did it for me. So I saw a little line right here. It wasn't a big line, and when I would tell people, they would be like, what are you talking about? But I'm like, I saw it. I'm like, I saw it when I was looking in the mirror, and it's like smoking is the biggest indicator to aging. And I'm just like, I know people are like, oh, it's a blessing to age. Not, I don't want that. I don't know. Not me. Like, I want to age like wine. And I need to take care of myself now to prevent me looking like shit later on in life. When I saw that, I kid you not, when I saw that little line here, like barely forming, I went inside the house, I got my weed, and I threw it down the toilet. I had like 2/8 left. I just threw it down the toilet. And I'm like, enough is enough. Like, that did it for me. I got 3 hydrofacials to start hydrating my face. I did 2 microneedlings, and it's all gone. Like, the little thing that I was talking about, it's not even there anymore. But it's so funny because the little time that I've stopped smoking, I noticed a huge difference in my skin tremendously. It feels more hydrated, more radiant, more glowing. I felt like weed was really taking my beauty. And I was like, absolutely not. No, that's not going to happen. And so that's when I threw my weed away. So I guess if someone asked me, like, why did you stop smoking? It's a big factor was vanity. And because I want to win in this life. Especially when you're a smoker, the smokers will get lines here or here, which I didn't have that. Or you get it like your crow's feet. And I feel like that's what I was starting to see. And I was just like, no, I'm like, I don't want that. Yeah. So if you're a girl, even a guy, like I think guys should really take care of their skin because like that's one thing I look at when I look at a guy now is like their teeth and their skin. And anyway, so I used to always think I had hormonal acne or I was just had bad luck with my skin. And I went to a dermatologist. I used so many skincare products and I wasn't seeing any results. And honestly, the whole thing was weed. Ever since I stopped smoking, my acne has cleared up tremendously. My skin has improved tremendously. My hair has started to grow. Everything, and I lost weight. Oh my God. Like, I was just like, I should have done this a long time ago. I feel like I just feel the best I've ever been in life. And at some days, it's kind of scary because I feel like I'm starting to kind of get to know myself again because that was a huge part of my identity. And now that it's not with me anymore, there's other things I do to fill the void of not smoking. And it's kind of like meeting myself all over again. I feel like it's a different identity, a different person. And I really like that. But I'm not going to lie, on some days that kind of scared me because I'm just like, I was thinking like now, like, who am I? And these are the days where your emotions are very heightened and my emotions were very much high. I kept reflecting on everything in my life, started closing doors, and I really believe when you close doors, other ones open. Once I hit a month, I'm going to buy a cake each month that I complete until I hit a year because I think it's very important that, you know, when you say, like, I'm going to go to the gym and then you don't go to the gym, you know, when you say, like, I'm going to go read that book and you don't read the book, you know, those are small losses and those affect you mentally and it just fucks with you. Like, I don't want to be like that anymore. I'm training my mind to be like, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I say I'm going to read this book, I'm going to read the book. If I say I'm going to stop smoking weed, I'm going to stop smoking weed. And I think it's very important that when you do accomplish those things, even if it's small wins, even though to me this is a big win because this was hard for me, I think it's very important to celebrate your wins, even if they're small or not, and just to be a person of integrity. And that's who I am now. I know a lot of you guys like the videos where I was smoking on the internet, but I don't miss that at all. And I'm super happy where I'm at right now. And again, I think it just depends on what you want out of life. And, you know, wake up. Wake up and take control of your life. Be present and take charge of your life. Don't let life pass you by. And if I'm being real, I feel like when I was smoking, something else that kind of made me sad was that I feel like I wasted so much time on people, time in life, and that's why I'm very big on just being present now, because I wish that I valued some people in my life. I wish that I dismissed others, and I feel like I feel like I ignored a lot of what I was feeling because I was smoking. I was just making excuses, and I'm like, oh, they may have said this comment, or they're a liar. They don't treat me that good, but I'm gonna go hit the blunt, and and maybe it's not as a big deal as I'm making it. And it is a big deal. And those people shouldn't be in your life. And yeah, so I think now the new people that I'm going to introduce in my life will be, like I said, aligned with me, just good fucking people, people with a proper state of mind, winner mentality. I'm not saying everyone who watches this needs to be a winner mentality, but I'm just saying, like, I do hope that I encourage you to want to be the best you could possibly be, physically, mentally, spiritually, all aspects. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video because I feel like I've been chatting a while, but I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to drink your water. Bye.